On the news, President Tinubu inducts 2 attack combat helicopters. Ministers, CBN Governor assure Nigerians of solutions to rising cost of living. Governor Abeokuta releases another 1 billion naira for payment of gratuity. Chaotic scenes at Senegalese parliament over delay in presidential election.
Also on the news, volume of transactions in Nigeria's exchange market at $800 million. I'll bring you details of these and other stories when I return on the business segment of the news. I am Dominic Agbea.
And leading sports bulletin tonight. Super Eagles striker Victor Osimhen cleared for South African clash. I'll bring you the details of this and more when I return. I am Sheyalao. Stay with us.
Today is your opportunity to build the tomorrow you want. You can watch us live on these platforms: Apple, Roku, Facebook, and Android devices. You can also watch us live on OGTV website, www.ogtv.com.ng/live, or send us a mail, info@ogtv.com.ng. Now the news in full. President Bola Tinubu on Tuesday reiterated his administration's commitment to fighting the insecurity plaguing the country. The president stated this when he inducted 2 T-129 attack combat helicopters and 1 King Air Beechcraft 360ER mobility aircraft for use by the Nigerian Air Force. Represented by his vice, Senator Kashim Shettima, the president said that the acquisition of the helicopters and the induction symbolizes the commencement of his administration to the nation's security. The induction ceremony was held at the 131 Engineering Group hangar, Nigeria Air Force Base, Makadi. The president said that the acquisition and induction of the new platforms would now improve NAV's air power in the ongoing war against terrorism. The president acknowledged that since its establishment in 1964, NAV has been playing a critical role in the nation's security, international operations, and humanitarian needs. The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, believes the country is on the path to recovery, saying Nigeria was heading to economic disaster before President Bola Tinubu came to power in May. Edun disclosed this on Tuesday during his appearance before the House of Representatives to speak on the state of the economy. He added that where the country is as a nation economically is a much better place than on the 29th of May 2023. The coordinating minister of the economy also noted that the country's expenditure before the current administration was wasteful and unsustainable. He said the country had expenditure which was wasteful and unsustainable by way of a subsidy not just on the fuel, but the subsidy on foreign exchange, which confused the negative framework, and people were chasing cheap dollars in order to make an instant profit. Tinubu, under his renewed hope agenda, took over power from former President Muhammadu Buhari on May 29, 2023, during his campaign under the All Progressives Congress APC. President Tinubu promised that he would hit the ground running and work day and night to make Nigeria better. The series of reforms since then, including the removal of much debated fuel subsidy, has led to a hike in inflation and the cost of living. In the meantime, the federal government has initiated an economic team to Jimy to attract investors to Nigeria. The team, led by the coordinating minister of the economy and minister of finance, Wale Edun, has been meeting German government for increased investment in energy, agriculture, and sourcing funding for micro, small, and medium enterprises, including the interest of women in business. Agreements are already being reached by both parties. Agreement centered on the exchange of skills and talents between both countries.
We are interested in growing markets, so some 90 German companies are already active here in Nigeria, and one reason is that Nigeria has so many creative young people, and that is what companies like to have and why they are here.
The President is highly committed to ensuring that the economy turns around, job creation, reduction of poverty alleviation, inclusiveness, ensuring the rule of law, and all of this geared towards increasing both capital investment in the country and boosting industrialization. And very recently, to add more weight to that, we formed the Presidential Council on Industrial Revitalization, which is chaired by the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister.
The next time we'll get together will be around May, and by that time we hope to be able to complete more agreements and arrange actual financings and interactions between Germany and Nigeria.
Also on the Nigerian team are the Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, as well as the Minister of Women Affairs. Back home now, Ogun State Governor Prince Dapo Abiodun has released another 1 billion naira gratuity in fulfillment of his promise to cater for the welfare of pensioners. The Permanent Secretary, Bureau of State Pensions, Adesoji Adewuyi, made this known at Ukemoson, Abeokuta. Adewuyi explained that the money was released to cater for the state pensions, which will be in 2 batches, with the first batch for pensioners in October 2014 list, as well as the outstanding of basic, rent and transport BRT allowance for the month of March 2013, while pensioners with urgent medical needs or hospital bills will be considered from the gratuity. The Permanent Secretary further noted that the second batch of the gratuity will be paid to pensioners who were listed for November 2014, adding that the basic, rent and transport BRT allowances for the remaining pensioners in March and April 2013 would equally be taken care of. He appreciated Governor Abiodun for his commitment towards the plight of the senior citizens, adding that the gesture would go a long way in bringing positive impact to the lives of the pensioners, and enjoined those who are still awaiting payment to be patient with the present administration, as it will soon be their turn. The state government has in the last 6 months released about 1.7 billion naira for the senior citizens. This covers full payment from September 2014 to November 2014, BRT balance covering January 2013 to May 2013, gratuity of retired judges, pensioners with health challenges, and payment of gratuity of some permanent secretaries. Some of the beneficiaries who spoke on the development thanked God for sparing their lives to reap the fruits of their labor. They appreciated the governor for keeping to his promises and prayed that God will continue to guide and protect him in steering the ship of the state. Nigerians have advised governments at all levels to encourage youth to participate in agriculture. This was jointly affirmed by a cross-section of Nigerians who spoke with OGTV News on the need to diversify the economy by reviving the agricultural sector in the country as one of the major ways out of the present economic challenges. Ayodeji Olumi completes the report.
The rising rate of inflation and the present dwindling economy in the country has continually been a cause of concern to Nigerians. The purchasing power of the naira keep decreasing as Nigerians now pay more for the same quantity of goods day in, day out. This has generated various reactions among a cross-section of Nigerians who believed the youth should be engaged in agriculture as a way to revive the economy and bring back the past glories of the nation.
I cook for a living and do catering for a living, it's scared that when you come to markets and you cannot afford the normal everyday things that you used to get. It's alarming. They just have to really look into it.
The only thing we can do for this country is to go back to agriculture. Encourage the youth to go to agriculture. Give them necessary things needed so that everything will be possible. There's nothing impossible in this life. Encourage them. Put people there. They will do it and they will do it well. Nigeria will be better.
The business of practicing agriculture in Nigeria by Nigerians is reducing. Therefore, a call had gone to governments at all levels to engage the youth in the agriculture and agro-allied businesses.
We have to go back to the board. Go back to primary school and secondary school. Let agri become a compulsory subject. When I was in Mina, where I did my training, I had a farm of my own, and I planted together with my colleagues about 2 acres of yam, of groundnut. You should be encouraged, but once they are encouraged to farm, you let them see that they can make something out of it.
I always preach it for my youth constituencies that we should engage ourselves. If in our environment we can do a small scale agriculture, like planting all these vegetable, all these tomato, pepper. We always preach it in our youth engagement, and I will plead to the state government to encourage the youth to go back to the farm business.
They charged governments to look inwards on providing ways to tackle insecurity and other related challenges, as there are also barriers affecting the agricultural sector. Ayodeji Olunmi, OGTV News.
The Speaker of the Ogun State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Oludaisi Elemide, has stepped down a motion moved by a member representing Abeokuta North State Constituency, Honorable Babatunde Taylor, and co-sponsored by 5 other lawmakers, suspending the former Speaker, Olakunle Oluomo, for 14 legislative days. Ruling on the motion after it was debated by all the other co-sponsors, Right Honorable Lemide pleaded with his colleagues to consider the state and the effort of Prince Dapo Abiodun-led administration in conjunction with the legislature in turning around the state for better. Correspondent Kolawole Osho covered the plenary. Details of his report are presented in this package.
Converging for plenary this Tuesday, Honorable Babatunde Taylor, who is also the Assembly's Deputy Chief Whip, moved the motion and equally led the debate on the motion, which centered on the attitude of Right Honorable Olakunle Oluomo, which according to him is detrimental to the physical, mental and moral well-being of the House, and how this attitude was putting the image of the House in bad light and disrepute. He noted further that Oluomo, having taken the House to the court of law, had clearly shown an unfriendly disposition and disregard to the laws and statutes guiding the operations of the House. Honorable Taylor added that the Legislative Powers and Privileges Act of 2018, Section 21, on pre-action notice stated that a person who has cause of action against a legislative house shall give a 3-month written notice to the office of the clerk of the legislative house, disclosing the cause of action and relief sought. He stated further that Right Honorable Olakunle Oluomo has refused to follow due process before taking this house to the court of law. He has contravened the laws guiding the operations of his house and deemed guilty, as he could not claim ignorance, being a former speaker of the same house.
Having been deemed guilty of the above, as there is no record of 3 months' notice being sent to the office of the clerk, an action that contravened the Legislative Powers and Privileges Act of 2018. I therefore, in consonance with Order 10 Rule 71-4, move that Right Honorable Olakunle Oluomo be suspended from the activities of this Honorable House for 14 legislative days.
Other lawmakers who spoke in support of the motion, including the minority leader, Honorable Lukman Abdeleye, explained that the former Speaker's activities were in violation of the rules and regulations of the House. In his reaction, Speaker Right Honorable Oludaisi Elemide explained that although Oluomo had violated the regulations of the House, but the present leadership will be magnanimous in always upholding the sanity of the institution, being the symbol of democracy.
Please bear with me. We will suspend further action on this till further notice. So I wrote.
The Assembly later observed a minute silence in honor of the late artist and cultural icon by Jimy Sholanke, who passed away on Monday at 81 years, as reported by a member representing Remo North State constituency, Honorable Dixon Awolaja.
Ogun State government will commence the construction of Abeokuta Lagos Road immediately. All necessary legal backing are put in place between federal and state government. The senior special assistant to the Ogun State Governor on Public Communications, Otumba Dare Odufowoko, disclosed this while featuring on OGTV's Focus Live program. According to him, the federal government has approved the construction of Abeokuta Lagos Road, but all necessary legal backing have not been put in place.
Government agreed after years of requests by the Ogun State government under the leadership of Prince Abeokuta. I can tell you that since he emerged as governor in 2019, he has made the reconstruction of that road a priority. But because the road belongs to the federal government, it's not a road the state government can just happen upon and said, we want to fix it. No, it's not done that way. Most important, as far as Ogun State is concerned today, is the need for an extract from the Federal Executive Council meeting discussing and approving this road for concession. Approving the concessioning of the road to Ogun State, you can do it. In spite of the presidential approval, there is need for the Federal Executive Council to also discuss. And having done that, an extract of that discussion will be made available to Ogun State for reasons of one, it's some sort of legal backing. That yes, you have the right of you see, government is a continuum, exactly. Beyond today, even if any other government comes and whatever, it is the establishment of the agreement between the state and the federal government. Yes, it was properly discussed, agreed to, and approved. That is one major delay in embarking on that road. Apart from giving legal backing, such extracts will also help the state to convince partners, especially in the private sector, in its drive to get that road done. It's public-private partnership of some sort. So it is when, you see, it's some sort of business for those who come in to invest their money. They are investors. They want to be sure their investment is safe. They know the procedure.
He noted that the government of Prince Abeokuta is totally committed to infrastructure development of all parts of the state to stimulate socio-economic growth and well-being of the people. Reacting to the impeachment of the former Speaker of Ogun State House of Assembly, Otumba Dare Odufowoko, stated that Governor Dapo Abiodun was neutral on the matter because he is a Democrat who respects the rule of law. He enjoined the citizens of the state to continue to support Prince Abiodun's administration towards uplifting socio-economic development of the state. And still to come in the news, Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu asks parents to protect child's rights against genital mutilation. Details and more reports when we return. Don't go away. Thanks for joining us again. You are still watching OGTV's main news. Wife of the President, Mrs. Oluremi Tinubu, has urged parents and guardians across the nation to protect the rights, vulnerability, and well-being of the girl child in the country. Tinubu stated this in a statement on Tuesday in commemoration of the International Day of Zero Tolerance for Female Genital Mutilation, FGM, under the theme, A Voice of Future, investing in survivors-led movement to end female genital mutilation. She noted that the FGM commemoration is another reminder to parents and guardians of their responsibility to protect the rights of every girl child in Nigeria. The First Lady also raised concern about the hazards and health implications of FGM among girl child, while calling on the wife of governors across Nigeria to continue to support the fight against the FGM. She calls upon parents, particularly mothers, traditional leaders, and community leaders where female genital mutilation persists, to consider the damage and irreversible health implications inflicted on their daughters. The Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Mohammed Pate, on Tuesday expressed concern over the non-compliance to the Compulsory Treatment and Care for Victims of Gunshots Act 2017 in most medical facilities. Pate said gunshot victims come under medical emergencies that require urgent attention to save the life of the patient or victim. The Compulsory Treatment and Care for Victims of Gunshots Act 2017, signed into law by former President Muhammadu Buhari. The act stipulates that every hospital in Nigeria, whether public or private, shall accept or receive for immediate and adequate treatment with or without police clearance, and every person, including security agents, shall render every possible assistance to any person with gunshot wounds and ensure that the person is taken to the nearest hospital for immediate treatment. With less than 2 years, the deadline set against open defecation practice, 48 million Nigerians still practice open defecation, while 95 million are without access to basic sanitation services. Although significant progress has been made, experts analyze that much work is needed to reach the goal. Aderonke Adeyemi reports.
It is no longer news that going into the bush to defecate is a dangerous challenge, as feces left in the bushes, waterways, and homes are major causes of disease outbreaks such as cholera and diarrhea. Nigeria has been battling with the menace of open defecation and set target to end open defecation by 2025. This, however, may remain a mirage, as recent water sanitation hygiene WASH National Outcome Routine Mapping on Nigeria's sanitation status showed that 48 million Nigerians still defecate in open, while 95 million have no access to basic sanitation services. Despite tremendous progress, a major challenge hindering an open defecation-free country remains access to proper sanitation facilities.
Many people went traveling and they have to answer the call of nature because they have not really imbibed that culture. They will still find themselves doing it because it is a behavioral thing. It is something that people should intentionally deviate from.
Because it's not only for you to possess a toilet, but you have to make use of it. Then you have to maintain it, keep it clean, tidy it up. So that is how you can boast of open defecation free. Then when using toilet, you must properly wash your hands with soap and water at critical times, and that critical time is after defecation.
Experts spoke on the numerous effects of open defecation in a developing country as Nigeria.
It's very key right now, just to prevent cholera, diarrhea, dysentery, typhoid, even measles, because the virus that is spreading it is inside the feces. Not only the water-related diseases, we are talking about a disease, third, neglected tropical diseases.
Investors, donors can come, because if they hear that we defecate openly, they will not be able to bring funds and turn the economy of the state. State government alone cannot do it. But when we do this indirectly, investors know that we have a cleaner environment, then they will come around and invest. And with that, so we contribute to the GDP.
A roadmap to navigating the situation was also analyzed.
From next year now, we begin to sanction houses through the cooperation of the Ministry of Environment also, to sanction houses that are not having toilets. So our campaign is every household should have toilet. So, I mean, contribute to the quota and make sure that we drive our local government to open the education-free status before the deadline of year 2025.
According to a UNICEF watch, only a total of 106 local government areas out of the 774 local government areas are open defecation free, with Jigawa State leading with 24 local government areas. With this figure, it remains to be seen if the 2025 target is achievable. Adirunke Adeyemi, OGTV News.
Oladipupo Adebutu, the candidate of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) in March 18, 2023 election, was on Tuesday arraigned on 7-count charge bordering on money laundering and other offences. The case under AB/10C/2023, instituted by the federal government of Nigeria against Adebutu and others, was about criminal inducement during the poll. Fura Adesonwo reports.
Oladipupo Adebutu, clad in white traditional dress with agbada, was in the High Court complex Onipakala, Abeokuta, with 6 other accused persons. Ladi Adebutu was charged to the court by the police after several attempts to dock him failed and returned December 2023. The prosecuting counsel, Mr. Rotimi Jacobs, SAN, earlier in his submission orally withdrew the prior information supplied and substituted same with amended information without any objection from lead counsel to the defendant, Chief Godi Uche, SAN. Oladipupo Adebutu and other defendants pleaded not guilty to the 7-count charge preferred against them. The lead counsel to the defendant, Chief Godi Uche, SAN, pleaded with the court to allow the 2nd to 5th and 10th defendant to continue to enjoy bail on earlier terms. He then prayed the court to grant the 1st defendant, Oladipupo Adebutu, on self-recognizance, saying he came to the court on his own volition. However, his prayers that Adebutu should be granted bail on self-recognizance was opposed by prosecuting counsel, Mr. Rotimi Jacobs, SAN, noting that while he has no objection to the prayers for bail, he disagreed with the self-recognizance clause. The presiding judge, Justice Abeokuta, therefore granted the 1st defendant bail in the sum of 1 million naira with a surety in the like sum, who may be a family member or bondsman.
We filed 7-count amended information today, and because of the main defendant, who is Mr. Oladipupo, came today in court. He has been at large since we started these proceedings, but luckily for us, he served his back. He came back to the country, and that's why we had to amend the charge to put his name back there. So the charge was accepted. The information was read over to all the defendants, and they all pleaded not guilty.
But he presented himself to court by himself voluntarily, and in fact it was even inside the court that he signed for the charge sheet. So he has taken his plea and has pleaded not guilty to all the 7 counts of the charge.
The case was adjourned to 7th February 2024 for hearing. Adefowura Adesanwo, OGTV News.
Ogun State government has advised the people, especially market men and women across the state, to refrain from acts capable of causing fire outbreak. The Commissioner for Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs, Honorable Fumilayo Efuwape, made the plea while commiserating with the victims of the fire incident at Lafenwa Market in the late hours of Monday, 5th of February 2024. Margaret Okunlola was with the team to assess the disaster which affected 14 shops at the market. A report.
There are market men and women counting their losses from the inferno which broke out Monday night. Eyewitnesses said the fire started from the pile of refuse at a distance, but spread into the nearby shops. Ogun State government, through the Ministry of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs, State Fire Services, and other agencies designated for accidents and emergencies, swung into action, led by the Commissioner for Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs, Honorable Fumilayo Efuwape, to regulate and put out the wildfire that would have burnt down the market.
We need our people to be security conscious. The government will only be able to do the little they can do, but it might not be as much as what they would have lost. So they need to put into consideration that they are the ones that are affected first. There's going to be a committee that will be set up that will involve the local government, the environment people, the security agencies, and the Ministry of Special Duty, SEMA, Fire, and all of us working together.
Director, Ogun State Emergency Management Agency, Wale Shonde, listed precautionary methods to be put in place to avoid future occurrences, while advocating proper and continuous sanitation of market areas and advice against storage of inflammation materials.
In a market where we buy and we sell, food stores are there. We saw garments of waste at the back of the markets. They should refrain from engaging in such. We have invited the federal agency, that is National Emergency Management Agency, to join us for joint assessments.
Being under Abeokuta North local government area of the state, officials from the local government were led to the venue by the chairman of the local government, Prince Adebayo Ayorinde.
We've educated them this morning, and the urology and biologists now have gone around the market to educate all of their people that no fire should be ignited anyway, because this period is very, everything is dry due to the Harmattan period.
On behalf of the owners of the 14 shops that sell herbs and food items, the Aloja of Lafenwa Market, Alaja Sidikatu Owe, thanked the government for their swift response. Meanwhile, the affected parts of the building have been sealed to prevent avoidable casualties, as the assessments conducted on the property revealed their unsafe state. Margaret Okunlola, OGTV News.
In former Sabah, 3 persons on Tuesday are feared dead in a gas explosion at the customs market at Sabah, Delta State. Victims are still in the market, counting the losses. Over 100 shops were gutted by fire, while rescue respondents are being expected at the scene of the inferno. An eyewitness at the scene had this to say.
So please tell us, has it been with you? Do you have a shop here?
Not actually. I usually come here to do 1 or 2 things, and I did not know exactly what transferred until when I come to the scene this morning, this evening. I was shocked and surprised to see what happened, because this is a market that has more than 1,000 shops. Just to be collapsed within a twinkle of an eye is something that will at least people.
An eyewitness at the scene of a gas explosion in Asaba, Delta State. Ipara in Remon North area of Ogun State, home of the Nigerian film actor, dramatist, folk singer, poet and playwright Jimy has been a maker of sorts immediately the news of his death broke. A visit to his home saw his colleagues, friends and families and sympathizers thronged the Ibu Dwasha to pay their last respects. Bumi Adigun was there and he captured the moment. His report.
because the moon is dim. Little scary stars cast glittering shadows. Tonight you all die. That's the first line in the board.
A whole library is gone. One of Nigeria's foremost storytellers, Jimy Solanke, is gone. Solanke, aged 81, was said to have died Monday while on his way to Babcock University Teaching Hospital, Ilishan, from his country home at Ikpara Remo, a Remonot local government area of Ogun State. Prior to his death, Solanke was reportedly frequenting the hospital for an undisclosed ailment, fondly called Uncle Jimy by many. Solanke was a revered actor, folk singer, playwright and poet. His notable drama participation include Kongi Harvest by Wole Soyinka and the children's show Tales by Moonlight, a favorite staple on national TV NTA in the 90s. His most recent work, Shadow Parties, was released in 2020. The news of his passage took the world by storm as he was still full of life till our last breath, and this took the crew to Ikpara, his hometown in Remonot local government area of Ogun State, to visit the immediate family he left behind.
He didn't give us the opportunity to say goodbye. He didn't say goodbye because he always made us understand that he's not going anywhere. I'm fine, I'm okay, so he was more concerned about how we were feeling than his own self.
People were seen wearing mourning look and trying to rearrange and do some cleaning, as many people would be visiting Ikpara, maybe for the first time, just because of late Pa Jimy Solanke.
As an engineer in OGTV in the 80s, he had a regular program on OGTV called Toiwo, and it fell on me to organize the studio for the recordings. Being a musician myself, I went beyond the call of duty as an engineer, bringing some of the artistic elements into what we did, and that was how Uncle Jimy noticed me, and then we became very, very close. He and his very great friend, blessed memory too, right.
As expected, scholars, writers, artists, and some critics of societal problems like Jimy Solanke found their way to the town.
Irreplaceable loss. We can't ever get anybody like Uncle Jimy.
A loving fellow, a great friend, and always supportive, always selfless. He was always giving.
It's a pain, but I guess everybody has to go sometime or the other. But he was a man who was enormously talented, taught us many things. He was one of my mentors.
Para indigent, to have lost a great gem, Babagba, so-called. Babagba, like I called him, Uncle Jimy Solanke, is a father to me. He's a father to the nation. He's a father to Ikpara people. And what can we say? God give it. And what God chose to take one, there is no one that can question it.
The wife of the deceased is still not in the right frame of mind. She still looks as if she is dreaming. Definitely preparations for the burial ceremony will begin anytime soon. Late Pa Jimy Solanke had so many dreams about this particular compound, this piece of land I am standing on. Here is named Ibuduasha, where the deceased intends to put again Ikpara community and his artworks and many of his works on the world map again. He wants to bring the world down to Ikpara to come and see what he has been able to do, what he has used his life to do in the work of arts. And that is why this place is named Ibuduasha, where culture and tradition resonates. From Ikpara, here in Remonot area of Ogun State, it's been Bumi Adigun reporting for OGTV News.
May the soul of Uncle Jimy Sholanke rest on. In another development, Ogun State Governor Prince Abeokuta has expressed sadness over the demise of a prominent and grassroots politician in the state, Honorable Faliu Adebisi Sabitu. In a statement of condolence issued by the governor, the deceased, a former commissioner of forestry and rural development, was a formidable force in the politics of Ogun State, especially in his constituency, Ogun Waterside, and a dedicated member of the All Progressives Congress, APC. Honorable Sabitu, who died on Tuesday, also served as a member of Governor's Advisory Committee and chairman of the State Agro-Service Corporation. The governor noted that the late Sabitu's unwavering commitment to his constituents earned him immense respect and admiration across political divides. Governor Abeokuta extended his condolences to the deceased family and urged them to take solace in the fact that his impact touched countless lives. The governor also commiserated with the APC members and the people of Ogun Waterside local government on the loss. May God grant Honorable Sabitu eternal rest. The Vice-Chancellor of the Plateau State University, Professor Bernard Matau, has been sacked from office. Matau was appointed as a Vice-Chancellor of the State University while serving as the State Commissioner for Higher Education in the last administration, led by former Governor Simon Lalong. It was learned that the Vice-Chancellor, whose tenure is yet to elapse, was removed from office alongside 4 other heads of tertiary institutions in the state, including the Rector of the Plateau State Polytechnic, Bakin Ladi, Provost College of Health Technology, Pakshin, Provost College of Health Technology, Zawan, as well as the Provost College of Education, Ginderi. A statement issued by the Secretary to the State Government, Samuel Jatau, confirmed the development on Tuesday. Up next is Business News with Dominic Agbea. Don't go away.
Welcome to the business segment of the news.